Hello everybody and welcome back to Switch Scheme, and thank you so much for joining me. I'm really sorry that it's been so long since I've been able to upload a video, but life just kind of took the reins and steered me in another direction. As you guys know from my previous videos, my mom had passed away. That's actually the initial reason the videos had slowed down. I had to go take care of her. She got cancer. The cancer went into her brain, and I basically had to be her caretaker for about 3 to 4 months until she inevitably passed. I had to get over that. I had to go through therapy. It was a miserable experience. I don't wish that on anybody. It was really hard, and the cancer going in her brain just made it immensely hard. It was basically like living with someone with dementia. She would wake up and not even remember who I was. But anyways, that's past. Now what happened was, as soon as I dealt with that situation, I took care of her, she passed, we settled that. My job was like, hey, get your butt back in the office, COVID is over. Now, I'm a supervisor in a call center. I don't need to be in an office to do my job, and over the last 3 years that we had been doing it, we were proving that by doing our job perfectly fine in the office. Corporate didn't care. They said butts in seat, that's what matters. We went back to the office, and unfortunately, because I live in the Los Angeles area, my commute made it an 11-hour day. Right? I got up at 7:30, I left the house at 8, and I wouldn't get back into the house until 7:30 at night. Traffic, my carpool, the whole situation, it was miserable, but it is what it is. So unfortunately, I just didn't have the mental capacity or the energy to create videos anymore. And I'm really sorry for that. That really sucks for those of you who subscribed, who enjoyed the content, and I dropped the ball. 100% that's on me. But as you saw from the title, I got laid off, and I have time now. So my goal is to get back into the groove of making videos. I don't want to make any initial promises. I kind of want to find the identity of the channel again, but my goal is to go back to the 1-minute reviews. People seem to enjoy those, right? They're just scrollable through, the shorts feed. And if I can do a 1-minute review for every game I have on my shelf, I have almost 200 games now. I can't even count. They're all sitting right here behind you. You wouldn't be able to see them, obviously. But there's a lot. And if I could do a 1-minute review for each one, that would give me several hundred videos, at least to give you content. And like I said, since they're shorts, they're quick and easy. I do enjoy the long form video reviews, but I don't know that I enjoy them in such a structured format. I will be honest with you, I enjoy more just talking about the game, just in general. Think something kind of like the Should You Buy series. I think it's GameRanks that does that, or I swear it was them. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, let me know. I like that Before You Buy series because it kind of is more off the cuff discussion rather than a strict review. And I don't like that strict review model. It puts a lot of pressure on you to kind of overly look and criticize things, and sometimes you don't want to do that. For example, I'm gonna give you a fine example. Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. I've beaten that game. One of my favorite games I've ever played in my life. Might actually be number 2 on my list of favorite games. Resident Evil 2 Remake, the original Resident Evil 2, of which I bundled together, are still number 1. The Last of Us 1 and 2 might still be number 2. I don't know, but they're up there. But Clair Obscur it's beautiful. But my problem is if I did a more structured review, I can't give it a perfect score because there is some jank. Some of the animations are really off. The facial animations look a little goofy sometimes. There's a lot of clipping, like there's the one boss who has the thread and he clips it through himself when he does his animation, and it looks a little silly. The hand animations are a little funky, and I don't want to have to be that nitty gritty because at the end of the day, who cares, right? Who cares? The music is phenomenal. The story was amazing, and I've seen people online try to say that the story is weak, and you have got to be on an island somewhere out in the Pacific Ocean, blind to everything around you. That story is peak storytelling. No way. And if you tell me you were one of these people, you're a fucking liar. I'm gonna say it right there. There's no way you saw that story play out before it played out. There's zero way. because they gave you all the little pieces and bits and knowledge, but they never tied it together until near the end. Yeah, you start getting most of it by Act 2. I will say, yeah, by Act 2, you know the whole story. You don't really need the whole story portions of Act 3. That's mostly just wrap up for what you now know. But by the end of Act 2, you now know the story. And if you tell me, oh, I knew the whole thing before Act 2 even started, you're a fucking liar. You're absolutely lying. Great storytelling. But I would rather do a discussion piece where I can talk about what I loved about the game and kind of just maybe brush a little bit on the little jank parts, because it didn't matter. It made zero difference to my enjoyment of the game. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe we'll do a Clear Obscure discussion video later. I want to do top 10 lists again. You guys seem to really enjoy those. Who doesn't like top 10 lists? I want to get into tier lists. Like, for example, tier list of all the Mario games. I've kind of already started to work on it, right? I'll give you a clue. There's one I haven't even played, which was Super Mario Sunshine. Never played it, so how's that gonna rank? Obviously it can't, because I've never played it, but you know, my ranking can be very different than a lot of you, because I don't particularly like the original. I think it's a fine game, it's phenomenally made, and you know, the controls are about as tight as you need it to be, but it's not, when I say, hey, I'm gonna play a Mario game, I never go back to that original, ever. Mario 64, also not one of my favorite games. Yeah, it's a good game, but for me, it's not up there. And I know that's controversial, because for most people, the original and 64 are like the peak, and it's just not for me. But yeah, so that's kind of the state of things right now. I got laid off. I'm now home. I have 60 days to find a new job. I'm still technically on salary for 60 days, so it was a 60-day notice, which is great. I do thank the company for that, and I do get a severance payout at the end of that 60 days. But I'm now jobless, so that sucks. My job was outsourced to the Philippines. You know, corporate America being corporate America, giving American jobs to non-Americans to basically save a buck. Whether that's moral, ethical, that I'll leave that up to you. I don't want to get into that here. This is gaming. So I'm going to start streaming again. I stream over at Twitch /UtiniBikini. You'll see the link down below. I do want to get back into that. I'm going to be streaming Clair Obscur. I'll be streaming Marvel Rivals. I might stream Once Human. I don't often stream Switch games because I don't have my dock set up over here, and it's really hard for me to get the dock set up over here because my space is limited. I have the PS5. You can see my router. I have the modem, the router. I just don't have a lot of space. I would like to stream the Switch games. Maybe when the Switch 2 comes out, I'll make an exception. We'll get that baby plugged in because it'll be new. I unfortunately didn't get one pre-ordered because Nintendo dropped the ball on how to do that one. I have all the money. I'm going to tell you right now, little secret to all of you, I have everything saved. I have $500 right here in this little secret container that I'm not going to show you. But I'm ready. I want my Switch 2 and I'm ready for my Switch 2. Unfortunately, I just didn't get lucky enough to pre-order one, and when I tried, we don't have any stock. How can you not have stock for a pre-order? I'm pre-ordering it so you order that stock when it is available to you. Whatever. Anyways, thank you guys again. For those of you who stayed subscribed, I greatly appreciate it. For everyone else who bailed, I don't blame you at all. This is 100% my fault. I just could not juggle a full-time 11-hour day with YouTube. I do this as a hobby. I don't do this as a main thing, right? I don't make money for this. I'm not even a monetized channel. So for me as a hobby, I kind of had to find the balance of, do I work on this and try to push it to that point at the expense of potentially, you know, having to go into debt, which I'm sorry, I am more financially responsible than that. It ain't gonna happen. But now my goal is, now that I'm back and I have a few months to kind of kick things back into gear, hopefully I find a job that is a little bit more, you know, lenient on travel time, or if I can find a remote job, hello, that'd be the best. I plan on getting back into it. So look forward to the 1-minute reviews, look forward to some top 10s, look forward to some tier lists. The next top 10, I think I want to do another top 10 RPG lists, mostly because I have played a couple since the last time I've done it, and it has slightly shifted. Like, for example, I'll give you a fine example. Persona 5, initially when I would have made the list, it would have been high. I'm at the point where I think I'm 70 to 80 hours in, and I don't want to play it anymore. The story isn't pushing itself or making itself interesting enough that I want to keep going. I'm so close to the end. I think I'm in November, so I know the end is around December if I recall correctly. So it's like I know that I'm close, but the game is not hooking me anymore, and I think that's a bad sign for longevity. Now I know a lot of people love it, and I totally, again, I'm on an island, I get it, it's a very popular game, but you know, controversial opinion or not, that's just the way it is. So we'll see. You know, I'll figure out some top 10s. If you guys have suggestions, top 10s, tier lists, if you want to see my opinions on things, by all means let me know in the comments below. Like I said, keep an eye out for the one when I'm starting to lose the ability to speak because I actually haven't eaten today. I'm starting another channel, by the way, where we're gonna follow my weight loss journey. I know I'm a fat, and going back on keto. I haven't eaten today, so I'm getting kind of peckish. But anyways, thank you guys so much. I appreciate all of you who have stuck around, and I appreciate every single one of you who joins us from here on after. Let's get back into some gaming content, and as always, have a great day.